Viewmasters, it's the podcast that we do. Viewmasters, talk about movies that we view. Viewmasters, my friend Eric and me Joe. Viewmasters, hey, let's start the show.
Hey, welcome to the Viewmasters, episode 295. Friday the 13th, 3D. My name is Eric.
My name is Joe.
I figured we both each get to do a kiki cha-cha.
Yeah.
And that should be good, right?
Ha cha 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 cha.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I wasn't sure if you were going to do it.
Nah.
I would have done it in unison with you. That would have been entertaining. But we didn't talk about that ahead of time. So I feel like we're good.
Yeah, we're fine.
Yeah. It was less pronounced in this one, I feel like, than it was in the previous two anyway.
Really?
I mean, it's around, but I don't feel like it's...
I felt like it was more omnipresent
Okay.
in this one than in the others, to the point of overkill.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I am just used to it at this point.
Maybe. I don't know. So yeah, the third Friday the 13th movie, which, 1984?
No, 1982.
82, Jesus,
Yeah.
Okay.
1 year after part two.
Yeah.
They really cranked these out.
They really did. And I'm gonna say, in this one, it shows.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, not a lot going on here.
Yeah, and not quite as good.
No, yeah. Not much character development.
Nope.
Lot of I mean, like the first 5 or 10 minutes are just the end of, literally the end of part two.
Was it only 5 to 10 minutes? Because it felt longer.
We said that last time too.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
No, it was longer than I expected.
Yep. The opening scene of this movie is literally the last bit of the previous.
Almost all of it.
Almost all of it, yeah. There's a minor difference. It still has the zoom in on Pamela Voorhees' decapitated head, where we expect her eyes to open.
Yeah, still doesn't happen.
Nope, not this time.
I thought maybe this time.
For sure.
It's alright. Not the last we see of Pamela Voorhees in this movie. I was very surprised. Very and confused.
Yeah, so let's just skip to that.
Yeah, okay.
Because that's fresh, right? That's fresh in our heads.
Yeah.
The ending of this one is pretty much exactly the same as the ending of the first one, where our final girl drifts out into the middle of a lake. To call it a lake is to be very generous.
Yeah, it's more of a pond.
Yeah, and clearly not on a soundstage.
Yeah, definitely not.
Clearly not part of the set of Gilligan's Island.
I did see the skipper in the background. It was strange.
I mean, it's low budget. They had to film at the same time.
Sure.
They mostly avoided each other, but
sure. Yeah, they were filming one of the reunion specials at that point.
Yep.
Was that the one where they figure out they're just on a peninsula? I don't know. Is that how Gilligan's Island ends? I feel like it is. I feel like the end of it is just like, oh, if we just kept walking around this island, we would have found civilization.
Oh, I don't know. I hope to God that's true now.
That's going to be our next thing after we finish Friday the 13th, is we're going to watch all of Gilligan's Islands.
That sounds great, honestly.
Or maybe just do a first and last.
We could just do, I think there were multiple reunion movies. We could do all those.
Okay,
yeah,
perfect.
Like, Gilligan's Island meets the Harlem Globetrotters.
Of course.
Or, whatever else there
Yeah, Gilligan's Island meets Scooby-Doo meets Batman and Robin.
So anyway, so our final girl is drifting out in the middle of a pond. in a boat, and she wakes up after her night of terror, and then the corpse of Pamela Voorhees comes out of the water to pull her down.
Yeah.
And then we get the 1960s wavy screen dream sequence effect.
Yeah.
To find out that I guess that didn't happen.
Well, I mean, we know for sure it didn't happen because the corpse of Pamela Voorhees has a head on it.
Well, yeah, sure.
So that definitely did not happen.
But there were bubbles in the water.
I know, but then we also do see. So in her dream, Jason is alive,
right,
and coming to get her, Barbara. And then we do see the body, apparent body of Jason still in the barn.
Yes.
So Jason is dead. I hesitate because I know there are 10 more movies after this.
Sure. Let's talk about some shoddy police work.
Okay. Let's do that.
I mean, I figure at this point, they would have found Jason's body and, covered him up, got him out of there.
Yeah.
Apparently they've, interviewed this girl, but they've just left his corpse in the barn in the exact same position that he was found in.
Well, so there's 2 cops total.
I think there's 3.
Are there 3?
Yeah, maybe even 4.
Oh, that's right. There's one in the car.
Yeah.
When the sheriff or whoever puts her in the car.
Yeah.
I only remember the 3.
There's the 2, the sheriff, I'm assuming, and his deputy, and then there's the one that was apparently inside the building talking to.
Oh, right.
Chris, I think her name is.
Yes, I believe her name is Chris.
That's another thing with this one is that there feels like there's more characters than there should be, and I could not keep their names in my head.
Well, it doesn't help that 3 or 4 of them are white brunette women who all look basically the same.
Fair. Very fair. But yeah, Chris, I think, is the main one, our final girl.
Yeah.
There was a cop in there talking to her, and then there was the cop in the car.
Okay.
Who I felt like was going to just turn around and slap her.
I thought he was going to slap her too, or like put her in cuffs or something. Like he just... This woman is clearly in a state of serious distress.
Yeah.
And he's just like, snap out of it, you're going to be fine. Like, no, that's not how this works.
No. Yeah.
I feel like, so I think a thing that these movies need, and it occurred to me at the end of this one, is, in the Terminator movies, there's the Shrink.
Yeah.
Who just pops up. I feel like these movies need sort of like, whoever the local psychiatrist in the Crystal Lake area is, like, needs to just be there at the end of every movie to be like, okay, I got you now.
Yeah.
I'll take you in.
That really kind of toys with I don't want to say this is an idea I have because it is no more fleshed out than what I'm about to say.
Sure. I had some ideas while we were watching this movie, too.
Yeah. But, like, I've always kind of wanted to see, the aftermath of a horror movie, in which it's basically just a character drama about a person, a survivor, just dealing with the shit that they have to go through.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
I read a little bit of trivia about this after we finished watching it, and I did read that the original plan for this movie was to follow Ginny after the end of the second one, and basically she's been like institutionalized,
right?
And then like Jason comes and tracks her down and kills her or something. But like that's sort of along those lines. It could have been interesting. They sort of almost do that with at the end of the beginning of the second one with the final girl from the first movie too.
Yeah, and I would say different franchise, but Nightmare on Elm Street 3 is all about kids who have had dealings with Freddy.
Okay,
and they're all in an institution, and it's Heather from the first movie, or Heather Langenkamp, Nancy from the first movie. Is like now a psychologist, and she is there to like help them, and So that sort of plays along the lines there too.
Is that Dream Warriors?
Yes, it is.
Okay, nice. I like that.
But yeah, it goes back to remember the movie Gravity?
Yes.
Sandra Bullock and for 5 minutes George Clooney.
Yeah. 10 minutes. He
spoiler.
pops up again in the middle.
That is true. I remember watching the trailer for that and thinking, you know what? Because the trailer shows the shuttle, stuff, and then her getting, drifting out into space and all that.
Yeah.
And Clooney going flying. And I thought, I wonder if the trailer is pretty much that, is the most exciting part of the movie. And then, the rest of the movie is actually just a legal drama of dealing with the repercussions of, what happens when somebody gets lost in space.
What was happening on the ground during the rest of the movie.
Yep.
Okay.
And, I like the movie Gravity, but, there's part of me that was disappointed that that's not what that movie was.
I feel like they sort of cover that territory a little bit in The Martian.
Yeah, they really do. Again, I would maybe prefer a whole, legal procedural devoted to that, instead of, just going back to Matt Damon, on Mars and then rescuing him. That's bullshit, right?
Oh, boy.
Anyway, just, filed that in, story ideas only I have an interest in,
Yeah, no, I like that.
Yeah, in comics, I've always felt like I would absolutely just read a comic that is entirely just Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent hanging out, never as Superman or Batman.
Right. Yeah.
Just being friends.
Yeah, what do they really have in common? Not a lot.
Well, that's what we find out.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, Friday the 13th 3D. They really, we didn't watch it in 3D.
We did not.
We did not have that technology available to us.
Yeah, it did need a 3D TV, which I do not have.
Yeah.
I don't think many people have anymore.
Probably not, yeah. But man, you could really tell, those 3D effects were spectacular, I would assume.
This is, when we talk about the pantheon of 3D film, it's Avatar and Friday the 13th 3D.
Yeah, and I assume Jaws 3D.
Well, sure, of course, yeah. And Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Oh, sure, naturally.
Yeah. So I would say the 3D shots of this movie are the most entertaining parts of it. They
are, because they are so obvious. It made me laugh every time.
Yep.
Every single time. I know I mentioned it while we were watching it, the extended yo-yo sequence.
That did go on for a very long time.
It was okay, we get it. There's a yo-yo, it's coming close, and it's going far away. And they did it at least 10 times, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was a while.
It was great.
And there's a lot of, just people pointing sticks directly at the camera.
Though I will say the first time that it happened is literally just a guy pointing a stick at the camera.
Yep.
And I was like, why is he doing... Oh, right, because it's supposed to be in 3D. And from that moment in, I was clued in. I was like, okay, I'm going to watch for all this 3D shit.
Oddly enough, so this is actually the first Friday the 13th movie that I ever watched.
Oh, wow, and you kept watching more?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I guess you hadn't seen the other ones.
I hadn't seen the others, and I kept bouncing around. I never watched any of them in order.
Okay.
But the only part that I distinctly remembered was, that guy, lifting the pole directly into the camera.
For no reason.
Nope.
Other than 3D.
Exactly. That said, I was reading in the back of the Blu-ray box before we got on here, because I feel like I saw a different cut of this movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I distinctly remember, Shelley getting killed and Jason taking the hockey mask.
Oh, wow, okay. Because, we don't see that at all.
Nope.
I didn't see it.
I did not either. So 2 full movies and 1 hour of this movie before we get what the entire world thinks of when they think of Friday the 13th.
Mm-hmm.
Hockey mask Jason.
Yay! I did clap.
There was an applause break.
I was excited.
It was very exciting.
I feel like we don't see, even when he was Baghead Jason, like, we don't see him full body very often.
Right.
And so, like, as soon as he gets the hockey mask, it's like, oh yeah, you just see him all the time.
Yep.
Because he's just running around in a hockey mask.
I mean, even for that hour of this movie, he's not in it a lot.
No, he's really not.
We get the first couple kills, after the 20-minute recap of part 2. We get the 2 trashy people getting killed.
Right, the people at the convenience store.
Yeah, and then that's it.
Yeah,
for 40 minutes.
Yeah,
just there's a lot of skulking around, a bunch of fake outs.
Yeah, so many fake outs.
Yep. We get a flashback to our heroine's tragic experience in the past.
Right. Yeah, her previous... it's unclear at what point she encountered Jason before.
Yeah.
But we learned that she has encountered Jason before.
Yep. And potentially raped by Jason?
Oh, I had real bad feelings about that. Like, he's chasing her, and he captures her, and then she blacks out.
Yep.
And then she wakes up at home.
Yeah.
And no one will tell her what happened. I felt real not good about that.
I mean, he's a masked, deformed psycho killer.
Yeah.
That does push it into an extra layer of ickiness that I don't associate with Jason.
Yeah, I am going to choose to assume that he did not. Because he respects women. His mother raised him right.
That is true.
He always gets consent first.
That does bring up an interesting aspect of when we talk about classic horror slasher icons. There's the fact that Freddy Krueger, which Nightmare is my favorite of the slashers, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But he is a pedophile.
Right. Yeah. Before he's a cartoon character.
Yeah.
He's a pedophile.
Yeah. And yet that's never something that one, it's weird that he did become such a cultural icon.
Mm-hmm.
This murdery pedophile.
Yeah.
But it's also a thing, when you watch it, it's not something that you think about, even though it is there.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a little subtexty in the original view, but they don't fully shy away from it. I know in the remake they 100% go for it. The Jackie Earl Haley one.
Yeah.
Which poor guy to get typecast as a pedophile.
Right. Yeah.
Also, terrible fucking movie.
Yeah. I do love Jackie Earl Haley, though.
He is really good.
He's so great.
Adding that to Jason just feels gross.
Yeah, I think Jason, too, at least in my mind, feels asexual.
Part of it, I think, is that he is supposed to be, childlike.
Right. Yeah.
He is just a giant, deformed, murderous baby.
Yeah.
So hopefully that is not what they were trying to imply with this.
Yeah. Now, I'm sure there is a corner of the internet that wants to fuck Jason.
Absolutely there is.
And please, if you're listening to this, I would love to hear why. Please write in, joe@guttertrash.net, eric@guttertrash.net. You can tweet at us, at ViewmastersPals. Please do. Please
Yes.
let us know.
Yes, honestly, yeah. Tell us why. Explain yourselves.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so this movie is not great.
It's not, yeah.
The characters I found mostly to be kind of abhorrent. And we get all the familiar tropes, but I feel like with the first two, we were dealing with camp counselors and people who were at these places with a purpose.
Right.
And this is just a group of kids partying, but there's also apparently for no reason a 50-year-old pothead couple. And
Are you talking about Cheech and Chili?
Yep.
I swear I thought that the guy was Tommy Chong at first.
I was with you.
It would have been great.
Yep. And then Chris's 40-something-year-old boyfriend.
Yeah. Yeah.
While everyone else is in their 20s at least.
Are you familiar with Tim Baltz?
Yes, I am.
Did that guy remind you of Tim Baltz at all? Just like very tall, strong features.
I can see it now. I can definitely see it now. I mean, he's no Randy Snuts.
No, swear, definitely not. What if they made one of these movies with Comedy Bang Bang characters? You got Randy Snuts and Marissa. You got the small talk robot. You got Little Forville. Little Forville could be the Jason character.
He could be.
Yeah.
Because
He's stabby.
He is very stabby.
Oh, I would love it.
And Cake Boss, of course, to be able to
Cake
communicate with the dead.
Yeah. Get the gift of the second sight.
Yep.
Hot dog. Or better yet, get Dalton Wilcox out there as the person hunting Jason.
It is 100% obvious.
It writes itself.
It really does. He's hunting a Jason.
Yeah.
Who is formal.
Yeah. Obviously. I would also enjoy seeing Mayor Junior's Babaldoonery. The mayor of the little people who live in the wall. I think that'd be great. I really miss that character. We haven't seen him in a while.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Shelley.
Yeah, let's touch on Shelley.
Jeff Ross? I swore I could have sworn that was Jeff Ross.
It is not. That's where you would see that for sure. Maybe as disgusting as Jeff Ross.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. He's a classic nice guy.
Yep.
And just a dumbass.
Yeah. So for whatever reason, I felt like, again, maybe I'm just completing different movies with this one.
Sure.
Which I actually am, because I mentioned in the previous episode that Crispin Glover was in this one.
Oh, yeah, I forgot you mentioned that.
Yeah, he is in part 4.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, distinct possibility that I am mixing things up. But I feel like, at least in Friday the 13th fandom, Shelley is kind of beloved.
Really?
And it may be just because, not to stereotype, but the Friday the 13th fandom probably has a lot in common with Shelley.
I was going to say, I feel like that says a lot about the Friday the 13th fandom.
Yeah. And so, it has been a few years since I'd seen this one. But I went into this today, thinking, oh, Shelley, we're going to see Shelley in action, because I guess guess I sort of Mandela affected myself into thinking that he was a great character, and he is not.
No, yeah, he's really not.
No, I mean, yes, he's an awkward, he's not really a jerk at first.
No, he's just annoying.
Yeah.
He's annoying as shit.
But they sort of set it up that he's just awkward around people and just uncomfortable, and certainly that can hold up a mirror to myself.
Yeah.
There's some stuff there I can relate to, for sure.
Oh, no, I totally see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He definitely turns into, the nice guy.
Yeah. He turns on a dime when that girl whose name I don't know rejects him.
Vera, I think her name is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's as soon as she leaves the room, he mutters bitch.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, right, you're the worst.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. That tells me everything I need to know about you.
Yep.
You are not owed anything, sir.
Yep. There's the scene where he, has a fake axe in his head, which apparently offends everybody, but I'm not even sure why.
Yeah. It's just dumb.
It is just dumb, yeah. And the beginning, his introduction when he, is wearing the weird false face mask.
Right. Yes, that's exactly what was a false face mask.
Yep.
Exactly what I thought of. I was like, oh, cool, Malachi Throne's in this movie. Amazing. I did have Batman 66 on the brain because we had just watched an episode of Night Court that John Astin was in.
That is true, yeah. And then he fakes stabs Andy, I think.
Sure.
Is that guy's name?
Okay.
And then continues to wear the false face mask, and but then after his bitch comments, he puts on a wetsuit and a hockey mask,
And grabs a spear gun.
Yep. And freaks out the girl that he is trying to get with.
Yeah.
Which is not endearing.
No, it's really not.
If you want to impress a lady, and clearly I'm an expert.
Yeah, clearly.
I'm just going to say that's not the way to do it.
Okay, good to know. Good note.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could write that down.
Yep. I don't care how awkward and nerdy and shitty you are. That's just not the way to get in the girl's good side.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he says something about, like, is it better to be a jerk than a nothing?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No,
it's not.
Yeah. As somebody who, when he first got online, called himself nobody, it is better to be a nothing than a nobody.
Yeah.
Keep your head down. Avoid attention.
Do not attract attention.
Nope.
Oh, man. So, yeah, his death, which you said you've seen.
I could swear I did.
Yeah.
But maybe I am thinking of something.
I don't know. Maybe there is another cut. I didn't get that far in the trivia because I realized that there might be spoilers for future movies. I didn't want to ruin anything for myself.
But I mean, I do have what is pretty much the definitive Blu-ray set.
Yeah.
That is the only disc in this one. So,
okay. But yeah, like his. When he fakes the axe in the head, I was like, oh, so when he actually dies, they're not going to believe him. He's a boy that cries wolf, yada, yada, yada. And that's exactly what happens.
Yep.
Like, the movie is pretty well... Like, the things that it does telegraph, it telegraphs super blatantly.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's directed by the same guy who did 2.
Okay. He was out of ideas.
I guess so.
They were like, you got to turn this around in a year.
That is also fair.
Jason Productions mandates a new Jason movie every year.
Yeah. So fair. He probably didn't have a ton of prep time.
Well, I mean, I think so. They had the plan for the second one that was going to continue to follow Ginny,
Right.
and then she was like, "Nah, I don't want to do that."
Yeah.
So I feel like that did probably cut into a lot of their prep time, and they sort of had to scramble to put something together.
Yeah, all right, that's fair. But yeah, because last episode you remarked how everything in that movie that sets up something, like pays off incredibly well.
Yeah.
And this movie, like, does not.
Yeah, no, the Chekhov's gas cans never come into play.
Nope.
That barn never burned down.
Nope. I mean, yeah, the only thing involving that is that, they siphon gas out of the van. So
Yeah.
when Chris tries to make her escape, it runs out of gas.
Yeah.
But,
But then as some magical reserve? Is that a thing?
I don't know.
From like old vans that they have a reserve gas tank?
Maybe.
I have never heard of that.
Me neither. But, also never had a giant conversion van. So.
True.
Yeah, that's weird. You mentioned the Shelley thing, that when he does turn up dead, they're not going to believe it. But the only person that sees him is, and I think the last person that sees him, because they never even find his body afterwards.
Right.
Is like the one character he never really had any interactions with anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Chili.
Yep. The middle-aged hippie couple.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course. Oh, man. Can we talk about the gang for a second?
Sure. Fox, Loco, and Ali.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I did think it was nice that they introduced some minority characters for Jason to kill first.
Oh, of course.
Before he killed the rest of the all-white cast. Like, as soon as they showed up at the camp, I kind of assumed we would never see them again after the convenience store scene. And then when they showed up at the camp, I was like, oh, Jason's going to kill these guys.
Yep.
Probably pretty soon. And yeah, it was immediately.
Yeah.
Except for Ali, who
survives.
I guess was just hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he took a tire iron to the head a couple times, but apparently he's got a hard head.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Jason made sure to remedy that.
He finished him off for sure the next time.
When he came back, yeah. Which, honestly, when he shows back up for a second, I was just like, who the fuck's this?
Yeah, no, it was like, what the fuck? We have not seen this character in over an hour. And, yeah, because in my head, I was, like, keeping track of all of the people who are at the camp, and once Jason crushes Tim Baltz's head, I was like, oh, okay, so this girl is literally the only person left alive at this camp.
Yeah.
And that was exciting. Like, and so when she ends up in the barn with Jason, it was like, oh, how's she gonna get out of this? Well, Deus Ex biker gang, because Ali has been, I guess, alive for the past 45 minutes.
Yeah.
It was very strange. I feel like that was the thing where they were like, how are we going to get her out of this?
Right.
I know. This guy's still alive.
I mean, he is the one that we don't see,
It's true.
fully, definitively dead.
True.
He doesn't have a pitchfork through his neck
Right.
or a hot poker through his chest. Although the hippie dude, Chuck,
Oh, yeah.
I think he just gets thrown into like an electrical box.
Yeah, he gets electrocuted.
Yeah.
That's how the fuse boxes work.
Yep.
Because if you touch them too hard, you get electrocuted.
Yep. I feel like, potential spoiler for future Friday the 13th movies
I
here.
don't care.
There are some kills in this that I feel get repeated in other movies.
Okay.
I feel like there's definitely someone who dies by shoved into a fuse box.
Sure.
There's a couple instances in this movie featuring outhouses
Yeah.
And which I don't care for.
Yeah.
Especially that first scene. But I feel like there's like a major like bathroom kill in like a future Friday the 13th. So
okay.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe they just decided to recycle.
This movie repeated a kill from the first one.
Yeah.
The Kevin Bacon kill.
Yep.
But it also, I felt like, paid off the dream that Kevin Bacon's girlfriend has in the first one that we talked about in that episode, where she's like, it's raining and then it starts raining blood.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's going to happen to her in this one, and it didn't happen.
Yeah.
It happened in this one.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
I was like, finally.
A little bit. Yeah.
We're playing the long game. I mean, sure, she didn't know about that dream, but I did.
Yes, you did. Yeah, the kills in this, like, they're not that spectacular.
Yeah, I feel like there's only so much you can do with a machete.
Yeah.
I did enjoy the spear gun. Great use of the 3D effect on that one.
Yeah. Yeah, like it goes back to what I said earlier. Like the forced 3D of this movie is like, it's really only redeemable value.
Yeah.
And like the 2 times that it's utilized in a kill.
Yeah.
Which is the spear gun, where we get our first shot of official Jason.
Yeah.
And then the head popping eyeball scene.
Yeah, that was really something. I didn't know that Jason was supernaturally strong yet.
Yep. He also physically changes when he gets the hockey mask.
Does he?
Because when we catch glimpses of him running around, and he's pretty lithe and thin.
Yeah.
But then when he gets the mask, he definitely becomes more hulking.
Yeah, it's his Bane mask. He bulks up. I theorize that in a future movie we will learn that the mask is what gives him his supernatural powers. I don't know how.
Alright.
It's not the mask of Loki. The mask of Bane.
Yep.
It's a great visual, though.
It really is.
It's so good, because it's just the plain white mask, and then you can't see any of his other features under the mask. So like his eyes are just all black, and it's clear why it became so iconic.
Oh, absolutely! It is so simple and so effective, and it's so weird that it's the 3rd movie before they land on that. Okay, admittedly, the first one is not Jason, but
right. And the second one, he's wearing just a
pillowcase.
Pillowcase over his head.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's not going to catch on, probably.
No.
Don't see a lot of people wearing pillowcases on their heads for Halloween.
Nope. There is a movie called The Town That Dreaded Sundown, which is not good, which I'm sure is blasphemy to some horror fans out there. But that killer wears basically just a pillowcase.
Oh, okay.
That was from the early 70s.
That's based on a true story, if I remember right.
Loosely, yeah.
All right.
Yep. Did we watch that?
We did not. No, you watched that with Jason for Gutter Trash.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Well, it was probably a Halloween episode, so I know you guessed it on a few of those. So
yeah, no, I was not there for that one.
Okay, all right. Well, I don't recommend it.
All right. I remember that you didn't like it, so I have not watched it.
All right. But yeah, it is. It's not a good look for a killer.
No,
it's not intimidating.
It's certainly not as striking as a hockey mask.
Nope. And yeah, like hockey, I think also has like a connotation with it of like tough guys and violence, and so it just goes with it so well.
Yeah.
It's just it's pretty lackluster otherwise.
Yeah, it was disappointing.
Yeah. I mean, we laughed a lot, but that was mostly just seeing people go out of their way to just push something into the camera.
Right.
Like the fake Ralph with his eyeball?
Yeah.
Was that what that was?
I think that, I mean, I looked away a little bit during that scene, but yeah, his eyeball definitely popped out towards the camera.
Oh no, that was Tim Baltz.
Oh, right. No, yeah, the other guy. That's right.
Yeah,
had the
Fake Ralph.
eyeball.
Yep.
That he got from the rabbit down the road. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was horrible.
Yeah. Just yeah, not
Diminishing returns on Friday the 13th Part 3.
Yep. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, yeah, I didn't give a shit about any of the characters. There's not much to it.
Yeah.
Oh
well.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, exactly. Anything bringing you joy this past week?
Not really.
Okay.
You?
I'm trying to think of something. Did I watch anything that just was like, hey, I watched Alien with my girlfriend last night. That was fun. Issue 2 of Little Monsters came out this week. The new Jeff Lemire, Dustin Nguyen book.
Yeah.
Which they did Descender and Ascender for together for a while. This is, I guess, going in a whole new direction for them because I think both those books are related.
Yeah. I thought they're like sci-fi.
Yeah. Well, a Descender, I think, is like robot apocalypse. Then Ascender is like the same universe, but like more magical based.
Oh, okay.
Little Monsters is about children vampires.
Nice.
And it is in black and white, which looks amazing.
Oh, that's cool.
Dustin Nguyen is pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, issue 2 just came out, and the first issue I thought was good. But this one really sets the tone, I think, for what's going to happen, and it's made me very excited to keep reading it. So
yeah, I like Lemire and Nguyen.
Yeah.
And I also have fond memories of the Fred Savage Howie Mandel movie from the 80s. So it's really cool that they're doing an adaptation of that. And I assume they're playing it straight, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like the new Bel Air.
Yeah.
It's a dramatic take on the source material.
Excellent. Glad to hear it. Doing this podcast has brought me joy for this week.
It's good. I'm glad to hear that.
Oh, boy. Do you want to do the next one?
All right. So, next episode.
The final chapter.
The final chapter. The last Friday the 13th movie ever.
Finally.
Yep. Friday the 13th, Part 4. The final chapter. Never going to do another one after that.
Sounds good to me. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. All right, well, we will be back to talk about that next week.
All righty. For sure, Crispin Glover time.
Excellent. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to The Viewmasters. You can subscribe to the show directly at view.guttertrash.net or at iTunes and leave us a review. Visit view.guttertrash.net for email information and links to Facebook and Twitter. We'll see you next time on The Viewmasters.